Welcome back. My name's Tom. This morning we're working on a 2007 Jeep Patriot. This Patriot needs just some things. It needs some bulbs, it needs brakes, tie rod ends, oil change, tire rotation, and wiper blades. Nothing serious. We're going to film some of it, not all of it. So hang in there, hang with me, and we're going to turn up the heat. Well, we've got a left front headlight out. So let's check that out and see how that is to change. Well, so there's the bulb. We'll just simply twist it about 20 degrees and take it out. Take a look at it. Well, can't tell. So unplug this. Maybe hang tight. All right, so we're gonna pop that out. Squeeze this thing here. Let's just push this down right there, and we'll pull it out. New bulb. Make sure you don't touch the glass. That'll shorten the life. I guess the oil from your hands will keep it from having a long life. I'm going to plug this in. I can't do it with just one hand, so I'll be back. There we are, all plugged in. I'm going to stick it in here. You guys probably can't see anything. It only fits in one way. And that obviously isn't it. Let me look at the holes. So I struggled to get it in, and I took a look at it, and the old seal from the old bulb was in the way. Oh, get that out of here. Now it'll go in. That won't be a problem. Let's see. Give it a twist. Good and connected, and it's good to go. Well, here we are. You can see how crusty, rusty all this is. We got brake pads. I can't really show you. Well, I could try, but all the way down metal to metal. And we're hoping we got new rotors and new brakes. And let's get this apart and see how bad it really is. All right. We're going to start with the two caliper hold down bolts. They're really rusty. Oh. No, I dropped it. All right, not so bad, not too bad. We'll clean up that rust. Whoops. Probably should leave that in there so I don't get smacked in the face. A lot of rust. I don't have it on there great. So let's get this off. Oh, this baby's tight. to pound that socket off. Oh. Okay, so gotta take note here that the rubber, this has a rubber tip right here on the end. It's for anti-vibration, anti-clunking. That one goes on the top. Got to kind of keep that in mind. Where's the other one? Let's see if we can get this off. Hold on, I got to go get more tools. Okay, I always tell everybody not to use the screwdrivers for pry bars, but here I go. Look at me. So we're just going to try to push this piston back a little bit, and it's coming. Doesn't seem too tight. I probably should have put calipers on this. Get this off. Everything's pretty free. That's called getting your money's worth. Next, we got to take the caliper bracket off the knuckle, and I think I've got the appropriate tool. Gonna make some noise, fellas. Well, wouldn't you know, that ball joint bolt is in the wrong place. See this ball joint bolt? The head should be on this side. I hope I don't have to take that out to get that bracket bolt out. I'll be back. I need more tools. Okay, so I got an 18mm wrench, but I'll tell you that I don't have the strength to pull that up. So I'm going to stack another wrench on it. This is not a recommended thing, so hopefully nothing happens. Boy. All right. Looks like it's come loose here. Man. Well, let's hope that this will go past that bolt. You know, when a car's this rusty, you don't want to touch anything you don't need to touch. Obviously, I won't be able to use a torque wrench on this one. For anybody that cares. I care. There it is. Good to go. Now we have to clean this. This thing's chock full of rust. I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you how I clean them. Well, I don't always clean them. I often use a needle scaler, but I just don't have it here. And we'll use an angle grinder. Okay, we're going to pull this rotor off, and by some sort of miracle, it's not rusted right to the hub. And there's the back of the rotor. There's the front of the rotor. More junk. All right, so I'm going to use a C-clamp. There's lots of ways to do this. Sometimes I use a big pair of channel locks. I think they're 460s channel locks made in Meadville. But for this one, sometimes I just like the feel of the C-clamp. Now, this is a small C-clamp, so you can see that piston's going right back nice and easy. You better check it, make sure it's not too dirty. You don't want to jam a bunch of dirt back around. It's in pretty good shape. I'm surprised. This car is 14 years old. Rusty. 170 some thousand miles on it. That's going back nice and easy. I don't know what you can see. I'll move it over here. I mean, this C-clamp doesn't have much leverage, and it's not taking any force to push it in, so I think it's good. Now, if the boot were torn, or I couldn't push it in, or anything of that nature, I'd have to replace the caliper. We're going to hang this up here with our fancy-dancy rubber strap. All right, I'm going to get some tools, and we're going to clean this hub face before we put the new rotors on. Now we're going to lubricate it. I'm going to use a hub scrubber. This one's a Blue Point. I bought it from my Snap-on dealer, I don't know, quite a few years ago. But shortly after I bought it, I saw it for about 1/3 of the price at a parts store, and I was really, really unhappy. Luckily, their pads fit this Blue Point one. They're probably all the same, made in the same place. So we're just going to put it on my impact gun. Hopefully the compressor won't start. If it does, I'll shut you guys off. What this does is gets the area under the hub, under the nut. Oh my goodness, under the studs. So it cleans those areas relatively easy. So, and then we'll go around here with a different thing. glad that thing stopped. Okay, so some of that I'm going to have to edit out. All right, so let's continue on here. Going to clean the hub a little bit with some brake clean, just a little. Okay, this area in here, this has raised surfaces, and then this surface is recessed. I'm not going to spend the time to clean this surface. It's not necessary because the rotor doesn't. But this surface, the rotor lays on, and it needs to be pretty clean. I mean, you don't want it to be just a little bit of dirt can give you a break. Not a pulsation, more of a rumble. So we're going to try to keep the pieces of junk to a minimum. All right, so this is marine grease. This resists salt water, and guess what's out on my roads? Salt water. So I'm not going to put very much on. We're just going to spread it out a little bit. Sometimes I use a product called muscle grease. Sometimes I use sheep squeezins. What is that called? I got a can of it over there. Oh, it's made out of sheep. Let me think. So we're just going to put a little bit of this around. This will help the next guy, or me, whoever. So, and I'm going to put some around the hub. This keeps the wheels from getting stuck on. Okay, that's not very much, just a little tiny bit. I'm still trying to think of what that stuff is called. Anyways, I'm going to go get the rotors. So today, to clean this, I'm going to use this. It's just a little grinder. I usually use a normally you use a needle scaler or something of that nature. But I just don't have that here today. It's in a different garage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of move it back and forth. Use it like a, use it like a grinder instead of a cutter. Now, you don't want to go too deep. You don't want to. All you want to do is take that crusty rust off and back down to the original metal. You don't want to make it any deeper or do any damage. So you just got to be gentle, back and forth, back and forth. So. That's what it should look like when you're done. Smooth, not too many grooves. We just need the rust off of there because it tightens up on the brakes as it grows. And when I'm done cleaning the other side, I won't make you watch all that. We'll put some marine grease in it. I almost always use marine grease underneath the abutment shims. And then on top of the abutment shims, I use the silicone brake lube. And then I put the silicone brake lube in here. Now these boots, they're pretty soft. They don't have any cracks in them. Looks like they were sealing pretty good. So we're gonna leave them in place. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna clean the rest of this without the camera running. All right. I compared these to the old rotors and they're the same size. The reason I did that is this was a Rock Auto combination kit, brake rotors and pads. They were $75 for the kit. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but I know that they're called Shortstop is the brand. I've never used them before. Didn't want to spend a lot of money on this old car, so this is what we decided to do. Pretty good deal. We'll see how they work. It's going to fit. That's good news. So I'm gonna wipe it down with some brake clean on both sides, and then we're going to stick it on. I'll be right back. All right, just some blue towels. I'm going to spray a little bit on the rotor. Oh, no. Wasting brake clean. That's what I do. Just going to wipe them off. Get the manufacturing off of them. And any kind of oil they might put on them for corrosion resistance. You know, they have to come across the sea and all that salt water on a big boat, a boat from China. It's probably a slow boat. So, I will stick these on. And then, I like to put a wrench. Sometimes I have axle nuts, but I don't have any here. On there, and get it tight against. Get it tight against. Reassembling, and then I'll blow this lint off, and then just want it to hold on there. That's all. Okay, we're gonna clean up that bracket. Let's see. So I got these all cleaned up. You can see what they look like. I'm going to just put a light bit of the marine grease, my little brush, on all these surfaces. Because I took off all the rust. And guess what's going to happen if you don't coat it? It's going to rust. So, just a little dab of this. And I'm not going to say this isn't going to rust, but this should at least slow it down. Okay. We'll put the clips on. See if I can do it the right way. Clip them down. And then there's another one for the top. Mr. Fumble Fingers. Whoops. Wrong way, dummy. Okay, with those, I'm going to use some, I've had this forever, Permatex Silicone-Based Ultra Disc Brake Caliper Lube. How about that? It's Ultra. We're just going to put some on there. It's the same color as the marine grease. Now it doesn't take much because you don't want this stuff gooing out onto your rotors if you can help it. Just a little. Just a coating. Always wipe the inside off in here. Try to keep as little contact as possible with the rotor, with the grease. Oh. It's as simple as just bolting everything back on. It's not brain surgery. And one more. Oh, that's the wrong way, you big dummy. Let me get over here. Back up. Make sure I'm going the right way. Can't get that one. Guess I kind of already knew that. Let me see if we can screw it in by hand. Those rotors are close. Nuts and bolts. I can't torque this one down, if you remember, because of that bolt pin in this way. That should have been put in the other direction. Okay. The torque spec on that bolt is 80 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to torque this one. And this one, we're just going to give it a little snug with the double wrenching. I think that's probably way past 80 foot-pounds. Okay. Let's get these pads slipped on there. Now these pads, and I was wrong, these aren't Shore Stop, they're called Power Stop. And they were, like I said earlier, they were sold as a kit. And well, I guess we'll find out how good they are. Now it has this little clip. This little clip is the, help me out with this. This is the squealer, I guess you could call it. It touches the rotor when the brakes get too low. That's an indication that your brakes are bad. I guess the squealer got ignored. Okay, if I don't know where they go, because this one didn't have any on it, I generally like to go with the rotor. If the rotor's rotating this way, counterclockwise, then I'm going to put it at the top of the inside pad. Usually I look at the other rotors, or and if you really want to be fussy, you could look it up probably in service information. You see how nice and easy those fit? Nice. No binding up. No carrying on. All right. And then we'll just put the outside pad on. And unhook your strap. Make sure you take it out of there. I've lost a few over the years because I left them up in there, hanging from the spring. Or the customer would come back with the noise and, well, that was my strap. It happens. I haven't done it for a while. So while I was off camera a little while ago, I cleaned these up. These are in good shape. Now, if they were corroded, these just had some corrosion where they seal in the rubber. If these were all corroded or stuck, you know, you'd have to drill these out a little bit with a drill to get the rust and corrosion out of the holes, and then replace these. Because once you grind this, if you grind this, these are almost stainless. They're not stainless, but they're coated. If you grind that coating off, they're going to corrode bad. So we're going to put a little bit of grease on it. Remember the rubber, the one with the rubber, went up top on this car. And that's also in service information if you look for it. Now, I'm not going to put a lot of stuff on here because the other thing that can happen with a lot of stuff is a lot of this lube, it can cause like a hydraulic locking situation where you screw this in, and then because it's sealed in here, if you have too much lube, it won't let the air out. So it'll actually push the caliper inside, and it'll drag the brakes. It'll ruin the brakes in short order. I've seen it. So not too much lube. Just a little. All right, so we're going to tighten these down. Make sure I go the right way with this. My battery must be getting low. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the battery. All right, so people that know me and have worked with me in the past think I'm a nutcase. Because I think most bolts have a torque specification for a reason. And you know, on something critical like brakes, I like to make sure everything's just so. I mean, like, it's not brain surgery, but then again, you don't want to be sloppy. So, whoops. 30 foot-pounds is the torque on these, and they were pretty close with that dead battery. All right, that is done. So we're gonna turn the wheel here, and we're gonna start on the inner tire or the outer tie rod end. Now, I've got torches in the background here because these little cars in this area, and probably even further up north, these tie rod ends get so bad, rusted inside somehow, that you've got to get them hot with a torch just to get them off. And then we'll clean the threads up the best we can and hope for the best. So when I do the alignment, I don't have to fight with a torch to do the alignment. You can just unscrew it and do it the normal way. But I'm going to take a video of that, but it's probably going to be a couple days. There's probably going to be another car between this one and the alignment on this one. So, all right, I'm going to turn the wheel, I'll be right back.